A government relations strategist with Venn Strategies in D.C. Uri Man is a global market strategist in Florida, right in front of the water there. That's beautiful. Lindsay Piegza is an economist, so we've got some big brains here. Penny, let's start with you.
Sure. Well, you know, there's never a good time for the president to take a vacation, as we've all seen in times past. You know, unfortunately, Katrina happened on George W. Bush's watch while he was in Crawford. So, you know, but the office of the presidency never leaves. I don't care if you're in Martha's Vineyard, Kenny, Buckport, or Crawford, Texas. The president is still able to work and work effectively and efficiently. Staff travel with him, and there will be many a times when, yes, he might take a little bit of a time, a little R&R with his daughters there in Martha's Vineyard. I guarantee you, he will still be working tirelessly on many of the plans that he has.
But Lindsay, is Hurricane Katrina the right parallel? I mean, that was a storm.
No, it's not. When the economy is in dire straits, you do not run off to the Cape. You don't even take a weekend to go play golf. Americans have to feel like their leader is there with them, standing every step of the way next to them in this recovery. Look, consumer confidence is at a 3-decade low. Part of that, of course, is because of the economic weakness, but part of that is the clear lack of leadership in Washington. So this ill-timed vacation just reinforces that lapse.
But Uri, what can he really do? I mean, after all, he's the president, and the president doesn't go out and hire people necessarily.
Yeah, well, he hasn't done much. I can tell you, though, that it's time for President Obama and the rest of our legislatures, you know, the congressmen or senators, they have to realize what we're facing today is a crisis, and the struggle of existence that we are facing as a nation today, it's really no different than a war, and every second counts. The debt clock is ticking. I mean, can you imagine if during World War II Eisenhower decided to take a vacation? I don't know how you feel about it, but I mean, I think it's completely ridiculous when you have people who are losing their homes, ending up living in their cars, and they're struggling, and they're supposed to be sitting there waiting for their president to come back from Martha's Vineyard. And it's not just a perception, and I don't agree that he's working while he's there. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he really needs to be getting Congress back into Washington. The fact that he said that our congressmen should be spending time with people out there so that they can get a sense of how outraged we are as people, it just shows how disconnected he is from people and how our congressmen are disconnected. They're doing nothing right now, and we're going to have to wait another month for some jobs
Amen
initiative.
to that. You know, you could point the finger just as much at Congress as you could the president. All right, let's go into another story here. Republican presidential hopeful Michelle Bachmann promising voters she'll bring down the price of gas when she's in the White House. Here she is.
The day that the president became president, gasoline was $1.79 a gallon. Look at what it is today. Under President Bachmann, you will see gasoline come down below $2 a gallon again. That will happen.
Lindsay, really?
It would be a different story if she said she hoped to see gasoline come down to $2, but to promise it is really ridiculous, because how does she gain to do that? We could implement a gas cap tax. So essentially, why stop there? Put it to $1.50. After all, price restrictions worked so well in the 70s. We also could see $2 gasoline if we saw economic calamity.
Well, that was the thing that caught my attention today. Like, $2 gas means that ain't a recession coming, that's a depression. Right. What do you say, Uri?
Well, I mean, the leaders of these OPEC countries, the people actually producing the oil, many of them, you know, rely on our support and our security. I mean, if we go to OPEC countries and negotiate with them with strength, with audacity, and we tell them to lower prices, and it can be done in the right way, if we stop supporting some of these leaders, they'd be hung in the streets in about 5 minutes.
I think it's going to take more than negotiations to lower the price with
I agree with you. We'll take more. I don't think that Bachmann is the person who can do it.
Let's get Penny in here.
It's going to take the type of leader that has a lot of strength.
Let's get Penny in here, because I know she's got something she wants to say about this.
Sure. Well, this is just a classic example, and we've seen this many times over with Michelle Bachmann, is don't let a campaign slogan get in the way of reality. And the fact is that under her watch, it isn't going to be coming down to $2 anytime soon, as we know. And I applaud the efforts. Hopefully, we haven't seen exactly what her plan is, even if it was to get to $2. But, you know, domestic oil does need to be drilled, and it does need to be explored, because not only will it help with us on the national security front, but it also helps us bring immediate jobs here into America, which you cannot outsource. So for that aspect, I applaud her. But she is just sitting there throwing the red meat out there, trying to get as much attention.
The problem is domestic
drilling
drilling is such a small proportion of what's actually consumed in the U.S. So what we need to see is a strong dollar policy. So when we see goods priced in dollars and the dollar is strong, that will bring down the overall cost, and that's what we need to see. And it'll be a welcome reprieve to the inflationary policies that we have in place right now.
Uri, did you have something you wanted to add here?
No, I just wanted to agree that we absolutely have to be drilling everywhere we can, you know, under the ice, under the water. Drill, baby, drill. I don't care where you drill. We need to find additional energy, and just the threat of us finding more oil here around our continent will put pressure on OPEC to lower prices. So I'm in favor of that. All
right, we've got one more story here we're going to try to get to. Reports today some websites using powerful new methods to track users' activities known as super cookies. According to the Wall Street Journal, these files recreate users' profiles even after they've deleted regular cookies. Uri?
Yeah, I mean, it's like George Orwell's 1984. I mean, they are watching us. And everyone should know today that when you use your computer, pretty much the government and all these companies know exactly what you're doing. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the only thoughts that they can't get access to are the ones in my head that I only write down and make notes. So, you know, it's a scary world out there.
I know, but we'll cover more of that, I'm sure. We're out of time, though. Thanks, Penny, Uri, and Lindsay. Great to have you on. Great job, guys. We'll be right back with my 2 cents more and the results of our online poll. Good job.